gamers, and welcome to episode 393 of the Super Ultra Podcast Arcade for October 23rd, 2022. I'm one of your hosts, Daniel Nicholson, and with me is my co-host, Dominic Stallworth. What's going on this week, Dominic?
Not much is going on this week. I mean, I just been playing some video games and stuff, you know. Just chilling. I was waiting for that Black Adam that came out Friday or Thursday at certain times.
Did you wait in line at midnight to watch that?
No, I didn't. No. Once I saw the reviews, I got out of line. I was in line. Yeah, I was in line. But then I saw the reviews finally coming in, and I was like, oh, let me get out of here.
Are reviews not good for that? So
far, no. Not really. I don't know what his official Rotten Tomato score is, but you know the politics behind that stuff, man. It's all politics. Rotten Tomatoes. I was joking. But
trying to keep DC down, Dominic. It is a 40 currently on Rotten Tomatoes with a 90% audience score, though. People love The Rock.
And that's where the politics come in, Daniel. Because they're fighting against Rotten Tomatoes because those people did not like that movie. Or they're Rock lovers, one or the other. But yeah, I didn't really see good reviews. I was like, well, I'll just wait till it comes on digital where I can just watch it. Yeah. Just like the HBO Max and shit. And I'll wait and see what the Wakanda Forever is going to be.
It's going to be
see how that is. Actually, you know what? I don't think I'm going to be seeing that in theaters either. Honestly,
no.
I think I think I can wait on that one too. I'm to be honest. No matter how good it is, I feel like I just wait till
streaming so quickly now. Like, yeah, it's hard to motivate people to leave their house to see.
Honestly, it's not what. The movie I want to see, which I missed it, I didn't technically miss it. I think it's technically still out there, but it's on digital right now. I think it's Bullet Train. I wanted to see that. And anything else? I'm trying to think of this year. I don't know anything that I really, really want to see this year. I don't want to see Avatar. I don't. It was another movie that's coming out this year too, after Wakanda Forever. It was Avatar, and I thought it was another movie like in November, December range that was somewhat interesting, but I was like, but yeah, I haven't seen that movie yet. Like, I haven't seen that movie to really get me like I gotta go see in theaters. Like Top Gun, and so far for me this year is with that and Batman are my top movies for this year. And that I'm glad I experienced it in theaters. I haven't seen Love of Thunder yet, so I can't say that, man, I regret not seeing it in theaters. After seeing Doctor Strange, I'm okay with seeing it how I saw it. It was okay. But from my friend and my friend's wife, who she's a big Marvel person, like she likes anything, so I usually don't take her opinions on things seriously, because I'll be like, oh, you like crap. Just like your wife. But so then because my opinion is always the best one and everybody else is wrong. So
of course.
But she actually said she did not like Thor Love and Thunder. And I was like, oh God, that movie must be horrible. Because if you didn't like it,
that is rough, yeah.
And I was like, wait a minute, and you like She-Hulk, because I got mad at her those She-Hulk shit on our fucking Facebook. And I was like, and you thought that was not good? She said, no. I said, wow, I'm definitely not going to see that until I comes on, what we call it. I said, goodness gracious. Because I asked my friend, he said he fell asleep on it. But he falls asleep on everything. Because I don't know why he does. Because he gets sleep. That dude I guess he just can't sit in the dark anymore.
He has undiagnosed narcolepsy just like I do.
Yeah. So, yeah, I was like, oh, wait a minute, forget that then. But yeah, so I just know big movies like I want to see. Like, is even the stuff that comes out in the future. The Spider-Verse one, I do want to see it.
Yeah.
But I'm not excited to see it, but I do want to see it. And I do want to see it in theaters because of how the visual effects of it. I do want to see that. Shazam 2, I did want to see that, but now I'm scared it's going to be horrible. God, I'm just scared. I'm just hoping that please be a good movie. yeah, I don't know of anything else as in the movies that I really can see. Hopefully, it's something I just didn't know about because I don't look at movie news like that anymore. So hopefully, it's something I see a preview of. So holy shit, this looks like this could be really good. And it don't have to be an action movie. Like I like movies. It could be just a good movie, and I just want to see it in theaters.
You like Knives Out, right? You saw that?
Yeah, that movie was good.
The sequel to that's coming out at the end of this year. I forgot that. I didn't realize that was coming out so soon.
My friend told me about that. I don't know why that movie has a sequel. That's why I'm not excited to see that.
I don't know if it's a sequel necessarily, or if they're gonna do like a
totally different people.
Well, they've got the same. I mean, like Daniel Craig's in it again. I don't know if he's the only.
But he's a detective. He was a detective, so he can do it again.
That kind of thing where it's like, oh, he's investigating something else, right? Like I think it's that.
I hope so. I haven't seen the preview because that's why I was like, there's a sequel to this. I was like, yo, I mean, technically, he wasn't even the main character though, but he was a detective though. But he wasn't the main character. It was that good-looking woman who was dating. I forgot she was dating. Some famous actress. And she was in last James Bond.
Gotcha.
But I don't know why a movie like that would have that's the only reason. It's the only way it can have a sequel.
They're calling it a Knives Out mystery, so I think it's like I can't think of the word, but I think they're basically like saying, hey, this is going to be in the same universe, but it's not going to really tie into that other movie.
But I can wait for that. So I didn't see that in theaters. I mean, saw
that's
that
coming
home.
out to Netflix basically like a month after it comes out in theaters anyway, because I think it's a Netflix produced thing.
Oh shit. Well then, yeah. But yeah, I mean, I hope that's good because I do like those type of mysteries. I like those murder mysteries. They're pretty good. What else is there that I did? Nothing. I mean, that's it. Not dead. There's no. I think, movies is just something that has to come to me. It has to come to me for me to watch them. Basically, the theater has to come to me, and then I'll watch them, but not go to it. All right, so sports. Let's go. I'm just going down real quick, because of course Washington they already had played. So right now, man, I talked about their game last week because they played on last Thursday. They're about to play the Packers. They should lose, but the Packers have not been looking good. And I'm afraid we're going to win because I'm trying to stay at least in the top 3 for picks. I really want 1, but it looks like Carolina is not going to win the game anymore because they're just giving away their players. And then we beat the fucking Bears, so I have to hope the Bears win a couple games so they can be ahead of us to at least be the 2 spot. Yeah, it's like I'm looking at the reverse of what other people want to see the teams be. Like I'm looking at it from the reverse of trying to be the worst. We're fighting for the worst. Well, everybody say they're fighting for the top. I was like, we're fighting for the worst. And it seemed like it's hard just to do that. It's hard just to be bad. I say it's ridiculous. But anyway, what we got? Ravens, man, they have been disappointing. And they have been getting leads and losing them, man, in these games. Even the last game. What else? And they played against the Giants, making Giants look like Giants only lost 1 game. And look, right now I'm seeing an interview with Daniel Jones, who probably should not be a starting quarterback, but he is, and their team is winning. So I guess he's the most luckiest individual. Oh, he's being interviewed by a guy who other people probably look at him like him. That they did this on purpose. What's his name? He was my old quarterback, but he was on the Chiefs. He was on the 7th.
Joe Namath?
Okay. He's dead, Daniel. How you going to be interviewing him?
Dead? Oh, my God.
Alex Smith. Darn. Alex Smith. Okay. He was interviewing Daniel Jones. So Alex Smith, he's always been looked at as like a guy who's pretty... Well, I can say he's probably... Dan Jones got better legs than him, but I don't know. He might throw better than Daniel Jones also. But Alex Smith, he had some moments. So like he looked all right, but he just could never get over that hump. Like he was never the guy to go take the team to the next level. He always made these mistakes that really killed teams. But I mean, he was an okay quarterback. Like he was definitely good to be a backup. Like if he was a backup, that was a good pick. And yeah, he's just that kind of quarterback. But so I find it interesting that he's the one interviewing Daniel Jones, because Daniel Jones is not looked at as like a great quarterback either, but he's winning. He's finding other ways to win, just that kind of thing. I just want to know how long it's going to last. I can't see a Super Bowl out of this team. I just can't believe this team lost one game, and the Ravens should have beat them. All right, so you got the Cowboys lost to the Eagles, so the Eagles are still undefeated. So Philly is just braving Philadelphia because, they got their baseball team about to probably go to the World Series and then win one more game. Then you got their football team undefeated, and then basketball league, the league just started, even though they started 0-3, which that's disappointing. That's really disappointing because some people favored them to go to the finals this year. Wizards are 2-0 so far as of this podcast. So yay. So we start off good, and I'm like, yes, hopefully we can sneak in the playoffs. The Lakers are looking bad, so yay. I love that too. That always feel good to see Lakers lose. So, and especially LeBron. So yeah, it's all good. And of course they're making excuses for the Lakers already, and it's not LeBron's fault. So I was like, yep, this is the narrative. This is what y'all do. Not his fault. Nope. Even though he's the best player ever, according to the internet. But whatever. Okay. Even though he's also 30, like going on 38. So that kind of sucks because it's like he shouldn't be the guy to do everything. Like, honestly, he shouldn't. It should be Anthony Davis, but he's become disappointing. And Davis has become disappointing. I have to give it to that. Like, in all seriousness, like, the only fault I give to LeBron is that him picking the players from last season, and that pretty much messed everything up. And now they're at a point where it's kind of hard to get people now. Like, you have no assets to really give up that people would want, So, yeah, that's the only thing I gave to him. But LeBron, realistically, the team around him is not good. And thing is, now, if he was his younger self, maybe he could still get them to the playoffs. They wouldn't win. They would not win. But they will be relevant in the way of like, oh, they can get to the playoffs. Now they're at the point where he's older. Like, I can't expect this man, like, oh, he's going to make them go to the playoffs because he's going to put them on his back. And I was like, he's 30. He's about to be 38, man. Look, unless you're taking those Tom Brady drugs, I don't think he's going to be doing it. And thing is, Tom Brady, he doesn't have to run down the court, up and down like the field. Right. He just has to stay in the pocket and not get sacked. He doesn't run anywhere. So I don't even think those Tom Brady drugs will work. So yeah, I'm like, I don't know, man. It's incredible that he's doing what he do. Good for him. Not saying he's not taking anything, but I don't know. But still,
he's definitely taking something though.
Isn't everybody?
Yes, that's why he definitely is. That's why I say that.
Yeah,
it's not to disparage him. It's just to say,
no,
that's the reality.
Yeah, that's reality. Oh, hi. You have no proof, Daniel. How dare you? We're gonna go get sued. We're gonna get sued, Daniel.
The proof is that he's got money, allegedly.
Yes, he eats the money. The money gives him power. He injects the money. It helps the power and.
I'm just saying, if a dude like Rey Mysterio was doing this stuff, then a guy like LeBron James is definitely doing this stuff.
Oh yeah, that dude was small. But yeah, so I don't expect LeBron. Yeah, so he needs guys around him, and this is like, I don't know how he's gonna get it this year for that to happen. So I had no expectations of the Lakers doing anything. They're not even nobody picks them to even go near the finals. So. I'll be surprised to get to the playoffs, honestly. It'll be surprising. If they do, I'll just say the league fixed it. That's all I'll believe, honestly, because they shouldn't. But all depends what happens to other teams. Maybe other teams get a whole bunch of injuries or something. The team who looks really good are the Warriors, of course. Even though they just lost, but it's early. It's only been like 2 or 3 games now with teams. So some people are picking the Warriors to go. Some people one person I know picked the Mavericks to go, but I think he's just Mavericks dick rider. He is. That's his stick. And then you have people picking. Somebody picked the Brooklyn to go. People got, like I said, 76ers. Bucks. It seems like it's really open. I actually like this league now because it's pretty open. Like who could possibly go? It's more open than I ever seen it in years for me. Probably right after Jordan left was probably that little slither moment when Jordan was gone. It felt like it was open until the Lakers and Kobe start getting together, start working out. Like Shaq and Kobe start working out, and then there wasn't open no more. And then I was like, damn, that was a brief moment. That was a brief moment. I was like, now we got them dominating. But yeah, it feels that way. I mean, even though the Warriors won last year, they weren't dominant Warriors like they were before with like having KD on the team. They were beatable. They were beatable. It's just that, I don't know, Celtics got stupid. I don't know what the fuck. They seem like they just say that we're not going to play defense anymore. And then the Warriors won. All right, so what else we got in sports? Baseball. Like I said, Phillies are 1 game away from the World Series. So are Houston. But Houston look like they're going to sweep their team. Phillies look like they might win in 5, which I'm surprised. It looked like Phillies were going to lose last night, but then they started knocking some bombs out. Bryce Harper's killing. But Charles doing good for the Padres too. And Soto did hit a home run last night. I was hoping this would be a good series. I mean, that was a good game last night. Last night was a good game, and then until the Phillies started running away with it near the end. But we'll see. We'll see if the Padres can hold them off and make it go to Game 7. Made it come back to their home. But the Phillies, they man, good for them. Like I'm shocked. I'm surprised that they fired their manager at the beginning of the year. And that because they have a team. Everybody knew they had a team. It's just like they just seemed like this wasn't gelling. So Bryce Harper could possibly get his World Series now for the first time. Even though I am rooting for Houston. I'm rooting for Dusty Baker to win. I know people are still talking about the cheating, but there's only 2 players that I know who are stars on that team that was there when they were cheating. And that's Verlander, the pitcher, and Altuve, the second baseman. Thing is, Verlander was the pitcher, so he wasn't batting, so that he wasn't like doing a reads or nothing. But Altuve is the only other guy, and it's like this is a different team. It's a different manager, different managing staff, and we gotta be honest with ourselves. It's like, yes, they cheated, but other teams cheated too. They just did it differently. Like I said, the Yankees and Red Sox got fined for some cheating that they've done before. Teams get fined. Like teams, they steal signs. That's the thing that teams do. And it's just that they were egregious with it, with the whole camera in the stands and shit, and banging on trash cans. They went a little too far. That's just what happened. So I'm not gonna like. I would hate them the next year, which I did. I was like, boo! I hope they lose. But after that, I didn't care anymore. It's like because I'm like what the hell does it matter? It's like it don't matter anymore. Like the team is still there, and then because I feel like if you really really hate that this team did this, you wouldn't watch the sport anymore because you watching your own team saying, well, no, I like my team. I'm like, no, you're still supporting them too because it's the league. They're all in it together. You should be mad at the whole league because they let this team. They got like even though they punished them, they didn't punish them enough. Like, if you really care, it's like you don't really care because you're still watching baseball. I can see if you just stop watching baseball. It's like, yeah, they just cheating, like because they're cheating all around. And I'm like, yeah, if you really cared, you wouldn't watch the sport, but you are. So that's why I take you not liking them. I say, yeah, who cares? Like they cheated, yeah, they sure did, and they won. They got a World Series. They ain't take it away from them. So, I mean, I'm just saying, like, if you really was mad, you would not watch it. Say until they take that World Series away from Houston. I'm not watching this anymore. But you don't really care. You don't. You care a little bit. You care enough, but she's like, I just love baseball. All right. So, I guess we got any wrestling news? Any big wrestling news happen?
No, nothing worth talking about right now. Still just waiting on the fallout from that whole CM Punk thing, really.
Oh yeah, I remember that story. So I guess we could go into what we're watching. So yeah, this is the only thing I really watched that was worth talking about is the House of the Dragon. So how did you like it?
I thought it was another good episode. This episode was kind of interesting because you don't see like Rhaenyra and Daemon at all. It's literally just Alicent and her family through the entire thing. Of course, the king is dead, so basically it's a race to find Aegon so they can crown him king as quick as possible and say, hey, he said he wants Aegon to be king, and as far as I'm aware, this is the only Aegon that matters. Now,
I'm surprised Rhaenyra didn't say the child's name to nobody else.
She
literally said the name nowhere else. No, I'm not saying it's unbelievable. I'm just saying that for her not to tell her son's name to no one else in that castle.
No, I don't think that's the situation at all. I don't think that's what it is. I think people are aware of her son being Aegon as well. I think it's just, Alicent heard him say, hey, I want Aegon to be king, and she's genuinely taking that as he wanted Aegon, my son, to be king, I
just want somebody to say, which Aegon? I want somebody to come out and say that. Hey, which Aegon are you talking about?
Yeah, but she's not portraying that to people as, he said Aegon. He's just saying our son Aegon, she's interpreting it very specifically. Now, that may just be the way that she's interpreting it based on my understanding from like podcasts I've listened to and some stuff I've seen is like the show is very forgiving of both Rhaenyra and Alicent. Like both of them are much more vicious characters making decisions that would make them far more unlikable in the books. 'Cause again, like this is kind of a favorable view of her. Like she wasn't
really
aware
is.
of the High Council trying to basically usurp the throne or anything like that, right? Like it
really is. Yeah.
She was trying to she was trying to make everybody get along. She just wants to put Rhaenyra in jail maybe or something. She doesn't want her dad to kill her. But that'll become more interesting, I think, as the Dance of the Dragons or this greater civil war that seems to be looming actually occurs, which, as of recording this tonight will be the finale. And it seems like that's when things are officially going to just like fall apart and become absolute shit for everybody there.
Yeah. I'm just hoping because now that I see how this first season is going to end potentially, I really hope it's only 2 seasons. Yeah, I can't see you stretch because from what I read, because I spoiled myself because I wanted to know what the hell is going to happen. Because I didn't feel like waiting because I'm like, life is short. I might not see this. But so I was like, oh, they can't. I mean, they can, but they shouldn't stretch this out. This can be done in 1 season, like one more season. This could be done. I don't want this to stretch out into 3 or something.
See, now I had seen, I think George R.R. Martin had suggested at one point that this could be 4 seasons, but I don't think that is officially announced or has been indicated anywhere other than just like a soundbite of him saying oh yeah, there's enough material there to do 4 seasons. But who knew if that was before, they realized that season 1, they were going to kind of skip through pretty quickly.
That's what I'm saying. The way they skip. So I'm like, unless you're going, because the way it seems like, is like, unless you're going the way of, we're going to slow it down like we did in Game of Thrones.
Yeah.
You go the reverse way, like you sped up and then, we're slowing.
And it's hard to believe that they would go season 1's been so popular, we're going to do that now. Like, they knew that people were going to watch this show. It's got the Game of Thrones brand on it. Like, come on now.
Yeah, use the same damn intro. Just the music. Same intro music. I didn't even change it.
They're never going to live that down, are they?
But yeah, so I do, because then I'm like, use some other material, Game of Thrones material for another story that happens. I think the only reason I say I want another season, because the way they did sped this up is that I'm at the point I just want to fight now.
Right.
Like, I'm at the point, like, I don't want a whole bunch of, I mean, not that I'm against the talking. It's great. But you put it to you built it up.
Yeah.
You built it up to a point. Yeah. You built this up to a point where, okay, now the two sides are fighting. Now I'm like, this is what I want to see now. From now on, it's like a whole bunch of, not just like, it had to be like battles, but like strategic moves, like between the two families now. Two sides of the family, same family, fighting each other. And then, but I can't have that last for multiple seasons, because how it worked in Game of Thrones, it was a lot of families for that throne. Right. It wasn't just two sides, so it was just two sides. It'd be kind of hard to have probably go through 8 seasons. That you went through, you had a lot of, it was a lot of people going for that throne. You had a lot of different, you had the guy, the king who died, he had 2 brothers who were going for it. Then you had, of course, Daenerys, who she was all across the ocean and shit in another continent, but still she had her own story happening. Then you had the wall, then you had the what's the wolf people called and Game of Thrones, what they call it, what's the family called?
The
Starks. I mean, the Starks are all split up. Yeah, so many things. Yeah, you had so many different type of storylines going on. Here, it's not really a whole bunch of storylines really with this show.
And it feels like they could have probably did that a little more, but they wanted to focus on the main line. And if they're looking to make this many seasons, then they should have considered that for this first season instead of basically hitting the high points and kind of speed running it.
Yeah. So that's it's not like it's bad. It's just that the way they built it is that, this is what I want.
Time for things to happen.
Yeah, exactly. So I like next, it should be a whole lot of action going on. But I mean, that was cool with the Valerian wife.
Rhaenys. Come on though. Like, what the hell? You come in there, you stomp all these innocent people, or whatever, little people.
They were dirty, Daniel. I don't care.
I mean, that's why I changed from innocent. These plebes, if you will. But then she doesn't do a single thing to anyone in that family. Like, you didn't have to burn everybody, but you could have ate Otto or bit Aegon or something.
She was giving them respect, but she was letting them know that
I'm going to snitch.
This is war. Yeah. This is war. Like you better be ready. I'm giving you the respect to know you better get ready.
Okay. She's probably going to regret that, I would imagine.
Probably.
Knowing the way Game of Thrones stories go.
I mean, look, man, I'm just thinking you ain't going to live through this. I mean, not live, but your chances of living through this is pretty much on the low end now. This is war. You just got to expect it. But
which is why she should have taken that opportunity to be the savior, and she could have taken the crown right then and there.
She could have, but
she would have to pick it up with hot hands though, ooh ah.
But thing is, it's like you still got archers that can just kill her. They probably can't kill the dragon, but they can kill her. And so I think it's better for her to get out there to tell Manure. It's still better for her to do that, to get her to know. I mean, yes, if you're I thought she was gonna be shut in anyway, honestly.
Yeah.
So because the way the doors was closing, I was like, oh, so that's what I was thinking. She was gonna die somehow. Say, oh, damn, somebody's gonna shoot her, with an arrow or something, or throw a dagger. I don't know.
It just felt a little too like Obi-Wan for me, where it's like you give this person the opportunity to stop this whole thing right now, and then they just walk away.
But it's chaos, though. You would cause chaos in the kingdom.
Not really. You've already got the person they said was gonna be the queen, the queen regent or whatever she was.
But she's not there yet. But no. But they already crowned him. He already did his little yay, I'm a king. I think, they
kill kings all the time. I don't care. Jaime killed a king. Nothing happened to him.
Yeah, but just killing the king, but they had people there. It wasn't like they killed the whole fucking the family all up there.
She got a dragon. She could have just killed everybody in that building. No one would even know. She could come out and been like, the king's dead. I'm going to go get Rhaenyra. We'll be back in like 20 minutes. Also, how long does it take to come back with a dragon? Like, she was supposed to take the kids, although she wouldn't take the kids on the boat. So taking them, like, that just makes no sense. Plus, why is Rhaenys still there? Her husband's supposed to be getting back to their house all sick and whatnot.
I thought Rhaenyra was still there because Mira said she was going to go back on dragon.
Yeah,
and I was thinking that.
But I guess she went on boat to take the kids, so it took too long. You know, once she gets there, she'll take the dragon back, but she's not there yet or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, because I was confused because when I was thinking like, oh, damn, Rhaenyra's still there. So what, they gonna lock her in? But she was the only one that was there.
Yeah.
Bernice was the only one.
And she shouldn't have been.
And I'm tired of these people having these names that are so fucking similar.
You mean Aegon, and Aegon?
No, I mean like Rhaenyra, Rhaenys, Valerian,
Viserion.
Yeah.
Caesarean section.
Yeah, it's like darn. But yeah, I mean, I don't know. I enjoyed that moment. I enjoyed it. I always enjoyed dragons killing people. It's just
oh yeah. I mean, this is House of the Dragon, and like they need to show more dragons. So I think we'll probably get that in this last episode. This last episode just seems like it's going to be chaotic as all hell. Like it's going to be action.
So I enjoyed this. It was a good episode. It's not like Game of Thrones. House of the Dragon. It's like I have a hard time starting it. Like just saying that I'm going to watch it today. I always wait till the last minute to watch it before the podcast. Oh, yeah. And sometimes I'll be thinking like, man, I might not be able to watch it because I don't feel like watching it now. But then I force myself. I was like, I'm going to turn it on. But once I turn it on, I do get hooked. It's just me getting to start it. Like I don't know why. I don't know why it takes so long for me just to watch it. Like I never want to watch it the day of. Like the day it comes on, like it comes on tonight. I never felt like watching it. I always said like I'll watch it sometime this week. And then I'll watch it like I watched it this morning. And so I watched it this morning. So that's why I just saw it now. The last episode.
Yeah.
But there's no other. I'm trying to think when this is over. There's no other series right now that I could think of to watch that really hooks me. Like I still got Westworld to watch.
Andor, Dominic. I heard it gets really good.
Oh, you still? Yeah, I forgot about Andor. You didn't still watch it because I don't see you haven't
gotten back into it.
Has your wife been watching it?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. It's not really something that we've felt like we should be watching in front of the kid. So we really haven't had time to watch it otherwise.
How do you watch House of the Dragon?
By myself on my laptop usually.
Oh, she's not watching it. Okay.
Yeah. It makes it easier because I'm the only one watching it, so I can kind of fit it in wherever.
Oh, I got you. All right, yeah. Yeah, but Andor, I don't know. I just don't have, like they'll say, those first 2 episodes, man, they were boring.
Yeah.
It just didn't grab me.
It's all like right, the Lord of the Rings show, Dominic, that got better too, allegedly.
Oh, well, then I'll find out sometime in the future. I don't know. All right, so I guess we get to what we've been playing. So what you been playing, man?
So I got back into playing Deathloop a little bit. Not too much, but kind of just going through whatever level I was currently in. I can see it being a good game, but it's just not really grabbing me. I could see myself going back to it sporadically to just give it a try, but it's nothing that I think I'm going to stick with long term. It seems really cool, but it's just not doing it for me at the moment. But there aren't a lot of games doing it for me at the moment, so it's nothing against that game. Also played some Fall Guys. That game does bring me back in every now and then. It's not something I'm playing constantly, but I get the itch for it every now and then. And now they have some new levels in there right now. They're doing like a spaceship themed thing right now. And those are all right. Some some different activities too. Like there's one where you have to like run around the arena and press a lit up button or something like that, similar to those style levels. I still like all that stuff. I'm glad they don't force me to do like the team-based stuff or anything like that anymore, which they did early on. I think that's a huge improvement for that game. And then the new game I've been playing this week, I played a bit of it. Marvel Snap. It is the card game on the phone. That just came out this week. And I think I'm of the mindset that we've talked about before, but like, it's a phone game and it's not doing anything for me, mostly because of that. Like, I feel like if this was on the computer or something like Hearthstone was, I would get into it a lot more. But just like the throwaway ability of it being a phone game, like there's an aspect of it of like, sure, I can pick up and play it anytime I want because I always have my phone on me. But there's also like this level of like, yeah, and just put it down whenever I want to. And I think it's clever, and I think it's very smart that it's very quick. They're very quick rounds. Each game is only 3 rounds. But I think there's a level to that too, where it's just like, this isn't really doing it. It's got all the trappings, upgrading your cards. In this case, they make them visually look different. Like with the first upgrade will like break the borders, as they call it. So like the art will spill over past the borders, and then they'll add some kind of like motion stuff to it after that. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's another one of those, hey, this is how many points this card has assigned to it. This area kind of gives you bonuses, or your card may give a bonus to another card, kind of strategy things, but it's not doing anything particularly new outside of kind of the speed of it. So it seems cool for people that are looking for that kind of thing, but for me, I'm really just not looking to play anything on my phone,
Yeah, exactly. Like, that's why I wish it was like, oh, you can play on a PC too. Like Steam probably has it, like free to play, and you just say, I'll try it out, because that's what
I wonder if they'll go that direction eventually.
Yeah, because that's why I tried out Multiverse. I mean, because it was like free to play, and I was like, I'll try it out. If it was like a phone game, I probably would not have tried it. I would left it to you if you wanted to try it or not.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So, like I always forget to mention games I played weeks ago. This is like probably like a month ago I played this game, Neon White.
Okay. And I've heard a lot of talk about that.
About to put video, because was putting up video content. I saw that, oh shit, I forgot I played this game because I did record it. So Neon White, I know nothing about this game. I mean, I knew of the game, but I didn't know how it actually played. I didn't know it was like a level kind of thing. Like you play a level, you go through it as fast as you can, and then you do whatever it tells you to do as fast as you can. Like you go through, like you so like free. It's not really free running. I mean, it's kind of free running. It kind of feels like, to me, Mirror's Edge kind of thing, where like you're kind of jumping, and then you collect these cards that gives you certain abilities. Like you might zip up, like you can zip while you're in the air, or you get some bullets, a gun to shoot something, to shoot the enemies or whatever. Like you get a certain amount, and then you collect another card. It gives you all types of abilities. I only played like a few levels of it, and it's fun. It's like, it's real quick. You go through the level, bam, and you try to get like the highest score. And I think you compare your scores online or whatever. And then you can go back to the stage 2 if you want to collect like the hidden items during the stage. Also, there is a story to it, and the story, that's what really probably got my interest. It's like just seeing where it goes. Seems like you're in like the afterlife, or and I don't know what the end game is. Are you trying to go through the pearly gates, or are you trying to get to like it seems like this is like the purgatory place, and you got to do these challenges to get to the pearly gates, or I don't think you come back to life. I have no idea. But you seem like you forgot exactly what you did, but the people around you know you, and they seem like they're doing the same thing too. I haven't honestly. I was really just playing this game to record some content at the time, so I wasn't paying totally attention to it. But there was some things that was kept my interest, so I might have to go back to see like, okay, what's this definite story about this game? But like it's been a month since I played it, so I don't remember everything. But yeah, I mean, it seemed like it's fun. Like I see why I saw some decent scores for this game. Like gameplay wise,
I definitely heard a lot of positive talk around it.
Yeah, gameplay wise, it's fun. Like it's cool. Like just do like a quick run and like try to get through the stage as fast as you can. And it's like, okay, yeah, it's all right. And the verticality and like in of the levels and the different stages. It, like I say, it reminds me of like Mirror Edge. Didn't Mirror Edge have like a time trial mode or something, whatever? I don't know. Yeah, I think it reminds me of something similar to that. Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, but yeah, a lot of free running, but with a lot of twists with the cards.
Yeah,
so,
like added complexity with that stuff.
Yeah. So yeah, I think it's a game if you can play it, pick up and play. I was hoping to be a Game Pass game. I really thought it was. I think because it seemed like every indie game seemed like it always is. So I was thinking like unless it's on Nintendo's actual shows, I'll be thinking like, oh, it's gonna be on Game Pass.
I think I'm waiting for it to be on Game Pass because I feel like it's gonna end up there very soon.
Yeah. All right, so Plague Tale, the sequel, which is called, what is that one called?
That one is Requiem.
Requiem? Okay. So I played Plague Tale Innocence, which is the first one.
Okay.
Since that came out, I was like, let me try this game out. And yeah, it's a very stealthy game, and you don't have to hold a button to hold your brother's hand, because you do have to watch out for him, but you can tell him to do things. It doesn't seem like it's a chore. They don't make it a chore. So that's good. But the story is what really grabs me. The gameplay, I'm not really big on stealth, but since I mean, the story is what keeps me going when playing it. I haven't got to a point where I see the rats yet. I'm just at the very beginning stages of when your family got killed and you're trying to get away. And something is going on though. Some type of plague is happening around, and I think they want to kill your brother because I think they think he's part of the cause. So they felt like, hey, we kill him or something, or sacrifice him, whatever, that it will stop this stuff from happening. Because your brother is sick. He is sick, but not in the way of like a normal plague. He's sick. I don't know, because I don't think it's not like how the other people were like all separated, but he wasn't. Like maybe it's something different, because I'm thinking like, man, if I'm close to him, man, I'm sick too, right? It's like, is it going to be that it's contagious? But I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, graphically it looks good. I mean, it runs pretty good on my computer. I haven't put it. I think I got everything. Actually, I think I put it down a little bit. I put the settings down to high. I'll see if I can do ultra. I don't know. But I kind of do want to get the frame rate up. I wonder if you can. Yeah. I don't know if you can or not. Like the frame rate right now, it looks like if it was just running on my Xbox One, frame rate wise, it seemed like it's around 30. So I want to see can it go higher than that. But yeah, it's all right. I mean, I do like it's pretty simple. Like you throw rocks and stuff to distract people, but at the very beginning, so I don't know how much complex it gets. But it's some tension, because like I was waiting for my brother to open the door for me, and like someone was banging on the other side of the other door, and it was like, oh shit, man, they coming, and it was like, man, it gets some tense moments in there. So I can see why people like that. I mean, I was interested in this game initially when we first heard about it, because the whole rat stuff, like avoiding the rats, that eating the people and things of that nature. But yeah, but I do want to play through this, and like after probably when I finish Spider-Man, which I'll get into next. Spider-Man, I finished the main story, I also been using some mods to some costumes, and I think I must have chose the wrong one for the Dr. Ock one because, or at least it didn't look what I thought it did. Because when I saw, because like when I picked the costume, I didn't really see it because it still showed it like it was a regular Doc Ock one. And when he was building the, like at the end of the, well, spoiler alert, when he was building that costume, and then he came and fight Doc Ock and came in it, I was like, what is this ugly shit? And I was like, God damn. And you can't change costumes after that. And I was like, God damn it. Because it's like for the scene. It's made for the, it's like, because you can't, when you hit the menu, you can't change your costume. Because that's supposed to be the costume he's wearing to fight Doc Ock. I was like, I was better off leaving it like it was. I was like, God, because it said it was going to be like blue and red. And maybe it's another combination. Because it did not look like that when I picked this damn costume. It said it's like blue and it's going to be blue and red like Spider-Man. So I was like, okay, this might look cool. No, it did not. It did not look cool. And I was like, oh God. I said, no, I don't like this color. The one I do like is I like there's one where they did his costume for Spider-Man 2. So they replaced that with the main one. I like that color. And I like that someone made the shaders darker too for most of the costumes. So it looks better. It looks better than what they were. Like it's like the blue is more defined or the red is more defined. Like the red was a little too light for me. And the other one, I mean, it was okay, it was still good, but I was like, I want a little darker red. And now it's darker. I was like, yes, this looks good. What else they have? I think I did a Spectacular Spider-Man one. Looks like the cartoon. And it looks weird because he has a big head. And I took that off. And I was like, no, I don't want to use this. But yeah, I mean, it was cool using some of those mods. I'm trying to think of another mod. I think I used one like the swing. The swing is kind of different, but I don't notice it. I didn't notice the difference. And what other one did I do? Oh, the Amazing Spider-Man one. Because I do not like the original one, but they changed like the Spider-Man Go Far From Home costume to be more like the Amazing Spider-Man costume. It looks good. Like it looks like really good. And I like using that one. And yeah, man. So like playing through that game, yeah, it's kind of pretty cool getting those new costumes in there. I did see that, yes, they do have a mod where you have a naked Peter Parker, man, his penis be going on around, but they don't have it where it shoot webs out his penis. So that's what I really wanted. So that's why I didn't get it. They do have a naked Mary Jane one too, apparently, and I saw that. And you know what?
Apparently, sure.
I like her better with her clothes on. I did not like. I didn't like that. And then they have the mods like you could be a Spider Woman, you know, and like and then like one of them it looks good. Then the other ones is like ridiculous, you know. It's like big boobs, big butt, and just going around, man. Like a thought. It's a thought just going around, flying around, like webbing around, and then out of the city. Got some funny ones. So I might try some other ones out, some of the mods too. Right now I'm doing the Black Cat DLC. I'm going through that. Now I'm like was doing collecting some of those paintings that her father had planted all around the fucking city that you're collecting. Yeah, but yeah, the game is awesome. I mean, like, because I played right through that. I didn't realize, like, damn, I knew the end already. I was like, shit.
Yeah,
and I did.
I think you can go by quick if you just kind of streamline it.
Well, the thing is, I did everything. Except for the hidden pictures, hidden photos.
Okay.
Which I think I only had like 3 or 4 more to find because I got because I got the whatchamacallit where it shows you the photos if you're close to them.
Right.
Close to them, it shows you where they are and the ability. So I just always took a picture if I was close somewhere. But yeah, I was like, I did all the because I like doing the challenges now since the time is off. I don't have to redo them. Yeah, I don't have to do anything. So I just go right through. So that's another reason why it goes faster. But yeah, that game is it's so much fun. Um, Also, I play some more AI Sominium Files, the Nirvana initiative, and I'm pretty. I'm not. I want to say I'm close to the end, but I'm closer to the end probably than I was when I started. When I talked about it last week. Yeah, it's all right. It's not as so far. I mean, it's good. I like it. But I don't like it as much as the first one. I still like the first one so far better. I feel like because I feel like it's not as many paths in this one as in the first game. But maybe it opens up later on. But from what I saw from the strategy guide, it didn't look like it. So I'm wondering, like, is this a smaller game? I mean, maybe I need to look it up. Maybe this was a smaller game. I have no idea because it just feels like I don't have much more to go. I mean, yeah, for this type of game, like compared to the first one, I felt like I was just probably getting to the halfway point. While this one, I think I'm beyond the halfway point. What else have I played? Danganronpa. Now this is another Danganronpa 2. This is another game I forget to talk about, but I've been playing. So I played part 2, and I'm basically at the end. And I just basically just read what the hell happened because it gets very long talking, and I was like, I just want to know what happens because I basically done everything I could do, like the trial, and now it's just kind of just story content. But man, that game, it's all right. It's not as good as the first one. And I think other people say that too. But it does have some twists. It's some weird ass twists in this one. These are all new kids that you're playing as. Well, you see one of the older ones, but spoiler alert, they die off pretty early, and it's a twist with that too. But yeah, find out who I really was and who we really are is big. So I was like, what is the connection of this with the first game? I was like, besides that fucking bear. But then it explains it, and yeah, I was like, okay, I see. I mean, it's all right. It was fun playing it. It's definitely a lot more to do than the first game. Like you're on the island this time, and like you can. I think there's you have like a gigapet now too, so it goes by your steps. Also, like when it grows up and things, you gotta take care of it and get rid of the poop around it. Like when it poops and stuff, it's stupid. But yeah, it was an alright game, but I still like the first one better than that one. Like it was, I was just curious about the story though. Like that's what like a lot of those games do is like, oh, the story's like, man, what's the twist here? Like what's so weird? It's just this one guy in the game who's just so fucking annoying. But then now I kind of understood. Well, no, I didn't understand why he was fucking. He's still fucking annoying. I understood later on why he did what he did, but all the stuff from the beginning on, I'm thinking like, dude, I mean, we can't kill him because if we kill him, we get in trouble. Because if everybody knows who kills him, you know, they get voted off, you get killed.
Right.
Because yeah. Well, just to remind people, Danganronpa is that it's a game where there's like the 16 students, and in order for them to leave the island, well, this is the island this time, not the school, they would have to be the last one standing. They have to get away or get away with murder. Like you can murder someone and they have a trial. If they don't guess the right person, you get away, you get to leave. Or I guess after everybody kills each other and you kept getting it right, you'll be the last one standing. So that's how that's essentially what the game is. It never gets to the point where everybody dies though. But, oh, that was a nice ass catch. Watching the Ravens game. But yeah, that guy, I'm thinking like, we should just keep him locked up and just feed him. Just force feed his ass. Cause this he's just too annoying. He's just too fucking annoying. But yeah, it was an okay game. It wasn't all that. Yeah, so, I might try 3. I'll see. But probably no time soon. I'll probably be playing these other games. I'll probably, after I finish Somnium Files, it's probably the last game I play, from Spongesoft. Cause I want to play Plague's Tale. I eventually want to play like another Sony game on PC too. I'll probably try like God of War, get back to Horizon Zero Dawn. I do want to get back to Deathloop. Like I want to play that. So I might hold off on that. I got Deathloop, Plague Tale, Dishonored, I just started. those are the big games I can really think of. Oh, and then you guess what? Persona 5 Royale just came out. I downloaded that, so we'll see what happens. We'll see what I'll be playing for these next weeks or so, or next days. So I guess we'll take a real quick break. When we get back, we'll get to the flashback segment. And we're back. And we're flashback into 2012, 10 years ago. Let's see what came out here. We didn't do the to block out which things we don't care about. So there, okay, I'm going down. We
gotta talk about Euro Truck Simulator, because come on, man, driving across the country of Europe.
Well, this is part 2.
Big old truck.
This is like people. It showed that look, people like the first one, so it's like, yep, we're doing it. And I don't know what they're on now. I think they're on just calling it years, maybe. Just saying, cause I know some of them they just say the year like 2017, and they're like,
it's so weird because like you have all these simulator games, and some of them are made by the same people, some of them aren't. So there's like this weird, like some are a year, some aren't. Yeah, I think they did American Truck Simulator most recently.
Yeah, because Euro Truck, I always thought like, oh, so Europeans got trailer trucks too? I didn't know that. I thought they did everything by horseback or something.
They're just smaller because their streets are smaller.
Yeah, I was about to say, where do those trucks go? They got to stop outside of the towns and cities. And they got to go.
Exactly. That's when you transfer it to horseback.
But yeah, America. Yeah, I would rather try American Truck Simulator, but maybe the European. Maybe this is big over Europe. Maybe the simulator games are just big over there. Yeah, I wonder what the sales are. All right, so you have that Skylanders Giants, which is a sequel to Skylanders. So this is like we're in the middle of the Toys
the Games, Toys the Life.
Toys of Life, yeah. Games, and like they were the starters of this, and then eventually, Disney came and killed it, because they went too far. They went too far.
They had the best action figures, and they had to shut it down.
But Skylanders, this is one is going crazy. Activision just like, hey, we don't got the Guitar Hero stuff no more, but here we go. We got this. It's like, yeah, we're still giving out plastic toys to people. Still selling them.
Yeah.
And what else we have here? We got Forza Horizon. This is the 10th anniversary of Forza Horizon. It's just that because Forza name's been around for a while, that's why I was thinking like, it can't be only 10 years. It has to be more, right? But I was like, it was just Forza, right? Horizon was like a big change. And see, I didn't really know about Horizon, not until you played it and said how it was. Because I was still thinking like, it's still a simulator. I'm not going to like it. Yeah. Like that's why I felt. But after playing 4, it was 4. After playing 4, I was like, wow, this game is incredible. Like, this is really good. So it wasn't until 3 more iterations later until I tried it. But,
that's when the dominant series. Like Forza Motorsport is just so boring in comparison.
Yeah, but it's still coming out. Isn't that coming out this year?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, darn. They're still doing it.
Maybe not this year, like early next year, but yeah, the next one's coming out soon.
Interesting, but I mean, they're still fans of those games. I mean, because Gran Turismo is like it's. Well, I don't know how big Gran Turismo is now, but it was huge, and people love simulation races. So but Forza is just different, and it's really good for people like me, like who just want more. That not just. I mean, racing is cool, but adding so much other junk to it, and just going on an open world and me just driving everywhere, stuff and crashing into trees and getting points for it. And I like that. All right, so what else we got here? Hotline Miami. This is the first release of Hotline Miami.
Yeah.
Wow, 10 years. God, that's another game I felt like was older for some reason.
It really does feel like
because it looks older. It definitely looks older graphically.
Yeah,
but. Yeah, that game's been around forever, and it's been on everything. So, and now we got a 2, and a 2 was that rated good?
Yeah, 2 I think was like, hey, this is more of the same. It didn't stick with me the same way Hotline Miami did, but that first game was incredible. It's such an interesting like conglomeration of strategy game and like action game, because you very much like approach these rooms like, because I die in one hit, I've got to do these very specific actions in this very specific order. So you like plan them out.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
Yeah, I played it. Yeah, see, I didn't know that was that type of game. So I went in thinking like, oh, is this a shooter, a top-down, old-looking shooter? So when I kept dying one hit, I was really mad, and I stopped playing. And then, so
it definitely took me a while before I was like, oh, okay, I get what they're doing here.
All right, so now we got Medal of Honor Warfighter. This was this is actually the sequel to the new Medal of Honor. That was being more of like a Call of Duty, and it did not do well. It got rated pretty badly, and yeah, because I'm looking at the Metacritic, we're at the 50s levels, 55.
Oof.
It's
maybe
the high
worse
end.
than I was even thinking.
So yeah, it was like nope, it failed. It failed. It was not good, and oh my God, Washington has a fumble. What are y'all doing, Green Bay? You sons of bitches. Goodness gracious. Stop giving us a chance to win. All right, so
trying to destroy my fantasy team now.
All right, so what else we have here? We got look, here we are. Zero Escape, Virtue's Last Reward. And I was just playing that game, and this is 10th anniversary of the game in America. So yeah. That worked out pretty well. Yeah. Well, I've been talking about that game, so yeah, good game. I really like the twist is pretty good. It's very sciencey, like very textbook science shit too. I don't know what they'd be thinking, like who'd be playing these fucking games. So I'm like, yo, come on, man. I don't know this shit. But anyway, but yeah, but it was good. I really liked it. Like it's just amazing that all these games. Well, except for AI Sominium, but it still deals with murder. They're all kind of the same. I mean, like in the way of like, oh, it's a bunch of people. Well, between them and Danganronpa, you know what? Like, oh, you got to kill. The game is that you, like you have to survive. You have to kill people or something like that. Or people have to die. Some people don't have to die or something. And it's like, what the fuck? It's just. Yeah, it's interesting he went that way. I wonder what that means for the minds of the guys who create this stuff.
Twisted, Dominic. They're twisted.
All right, so that is it for 2012. And now we're going back. Well, it's not it, but that's it for the main games, like the most important games to talk about. So now we're going back 20 years, and now we're going to 2002. We're going to talk about Mario Party 4 came out for the GameCube. So yes, we're on the 4th Mario Party here, man. And where are we at now? Mario Party?
All Stars. They stopped giving them numbers because there were so many.
I mean, like, where did the last numbered one stop at? Did it get to double digits?
I don't think it made double digits.
They probably stopped at 9 then.
Oh, no, they made a Mario Party 10.
Okay, so they stopped at
Mario
10
Party 10 was in 2015. Then there's Super Mario Party in 2018. And then Mario Party Superstars was in 2021.
They didn't even numbered it. They said, we can't number after 10.
I mean, it starts to get egregious after that. So just look at Final Fantasy. It was supposed to be the Final Fantasy, Dominic.
One day it will be.
Yeah.
When the world ends.
We'll be dead by then.
Yeah. All right. So what else we have here? We got Baldur's Gate Alliance. Dark Alliance on the Xbox. So this is the Xbox version. So yeah, but it was kind of similar to Diablo-ish like, but it was really pretty good. I know, like people really they like this one. Wait a minute. We gotta talk about this one. This is the Lord of Rings: The Two Towers came out.
Oh, that is the Two Towers one. I thought we just kept talking about the other one like so many times, and I just glazed over that one.
This is the best one. Yes, the Lord of the Rings Two Towers, which is probably the best Lord of the Rings game on this new generation of consoles. Actually, I mean, I don't know if people like. I mean, unless you like that RPG one with the B team of Lord of the Rings, but whatever. This was like the best one based off the movies, and yeah, man, I like this game. Like, I had fun playing this game. Like, it looked good. Like how they went from the movie to the game when they transitioned. At the time, those were incredible graphics. I was like, wow, this looks pretty damn good. How it transitioned. But yeah, and yeah, it was fun. It was like one of the better movie games, games out there. I mean, like between that and Spider-Man 2, I can't think of anything right now, but yeah, I think there's probably others. Very few though. All right, so where are we at here? We're going to Fire Pro Wrestling 2 came out for the Game Boy Advance. You gotta tell me about this because I don't really know about.
Yeah, so Fire Pro is like the series that everybody talks about, like hardcore wrestling fans talk about being the games. These are like not side scrolling, but like 2D, more flat, pixel art games. And just the level of customization for them was insane because you could like literally create your own characters, but then you could create your own moves and stuff like that. That recent one came out for like the PS4 and the PC not too long ago. But it was never a series that I was into, but I feel like I remember even back in the day when this came out on the Game Boy, it was kind of a big deal.
Oh, okay. I do remember like people speaking on it. I just never really get into it, but I heard like some good things about it. But I mean, it was on Game Boy Advance. I didn't have it, and then it still looked like a Nintendo game. So I was like, I don't know if people like this game. But yeah, I do remember people talking about that. All right, and not last really, but last for 2002. And not least, Tony Hawk Pro Skater 4 came out for the PlayStation 2. So it's been 20 years for Tony Hawk's Pro Skater 4. I never played this one. Last one I ever played was 3. So how was 4? Was 4 better than 3?
4 was also good. I don't know about better than 3, but I think it was probably on par with 3. I'm trying to think of the levels in 4. Was that the one that had the zoo in it? Yeah, it was another Tony Hawk game at that point, but it still had some fun levels. And I'm trying to think if it added anything like mechanic wise, if that's when they added like the varial or whatever, the like vert hop or whatever it's called. Oh, bang my mic. But yeah, it's good. This is also, I think this might be the one where they first added online for like the PlayStation 2 or whatever.
Oh, okay. Oh, so this, right. Cause the other one got added online, I think only with, the Xbox One. I think
maybe like X2
was online. Yeah. I have a feeling like that
maybe it was Tony Hawk 3 where they first added online in the PlayStation then. Because that came out at the same time as X2, right?
Yeah, but I don't know if PlayStation had the online shit ready. Did it have the shit ready?
Yeah, man? I don't remember.
I don't remember either. It was all crappy anyway. All right, so the online. But anyway, yeah. So now we're going back 30 years. So 30 years ago is Wario's birthday. As Super Mario Land 2, right? That's what it was that he appeared in.
Super Mario Land 2, the quest for the 6 coins or something like that.
On the Game Boy. I remember the commercial with him. I still remember it to this day. Because he had all this green stuff come out of his mouth and shit. Like,
yeah.
Yeah, that's why I knew. I was like, oh man, that's an evil Mario or something. But then I got mad because I was like, oh, I want to get this on, well, I couldn't get it because I had Super Nintendo, but I was hoping my friend would get it because he had Super Nintendo. So, I can feel Super Nintendo. It's like, Game Boy. So, I want to play it in black and white and shit. What the hell? I was like, even though I had a Game Boy, but I didn't care. I didn't really play my Game Boy, really, because I think I was just into Game Gear and shit. But, yeah, so I was like, it's just on a Mario black and white. I don't care. But yeah, Wario, this is the birth of Wario. And I didn't know. I mean, I didn't really think about him as a thing that will be a staple.
Yeah.
Within the Mario universe. I think I really start seeing him a staple probably with Mario Kart. Maybe when Mario Kart happened, I'll start seeing like, oh, so he's still around. I was like, okay, so he's still a thing. And then I started seeing him everywhere. Then he had his own game at one time. When was his first game? Was it the DS?
I think it was the Super Wario Land or whatever the next Mario Land game on the Game Boy was.
Oh, they had a Super Mario Land? Damn, I forgot about that.
I don't know if it was, I think it was just Wario Land, but yeah, Super Mario Land 3 was Wario Land.
Oh, that's what that was. I thought it was a Game Boy Advance when there was Wario Land up there.
And he also had one, on the GameCube that was made by Treasure, I think. Then, of course, all the WarioWare games. But he definitely had another platformer, too. Yeah, so he had Wario Land, which was Super Mario Land 3, then Wario Land 2, Wario Land 3 on the Game Boy Color, and Wario Land 4 on the Game Boy Advanced.
Oh, okay.
There was also a Virtual Boy Wario Land.
Virtual Boy? Oh, dang.
Yeah. Wario Land Shake It on the Wii.
Yeah, I know about that one.
And then Wario World was the GameCube one. And Wario Master of Disguise. I had that one. I didn't think that was particularly great.
All right. So did you play Super Mario Land 2?
You know, I think I started it not long ago after beating Mario Land 1. But I never went back to it. So
okay.
One of these days I'll get around to it. 30 more years from now.
All right. So now I guess we take a quick break. And when we get back, we get to the gaming news.
All right.
And we're back. And now we'll get to the gaming news. What we got, Dan?
All right, Dominic. So first up, we're going to start on a couple of stories that are follow-ups to last week's discussions. First up, the Bayonetta stuff. We talked last week about Helena Taylor putting out a video basically saying that she was offered $4,000 by Platinum to record the entirety of the Bayonetta 3 voice work. That situation has gotten a little more complicated. Jennifer Hale has come out. She is the one that they hired as the replacement for her, basically saying like, hey, I don't know anything about this situation, so like stop harassing me, because of course people are out there talking shit about her. Platinum also put out a statement basically saying like, hey, we respect all the work that our team is put into making this game, but we're not actually going to talk about this. Now, the real news comes from reporting from Jason Schreier and I think VG Chronicles. There was another website that kind of corroborated his story, basically saying that based on paperwork that they've seen, contracts and whatnot, they offered Helena Taylor $4,000 per session, estimating that there would be like 4 or 5 sessions to complete the game. And she had countered that by saying she wanted 6 figures, $100,000 plus, and also wanted post-release residuals. So, for every copy they sell, she gets more money. She has come out and said that that is a big lie. So that's weird unless, Jason Schreier got a hold of some sort of doctored documents from Platinum. Who knows if there's some kind of misunderstanding here or what. $4,000 for each for 4 or 5 sessions seems more in line with what I think I would have expected her to make.
That's what I would think. Yeah.
And $100,000, that seems kind of on the high end. Residuals, that's a conversation to be had, right? And I think we've talked a little bit about that in the past when like the voice actors were on strike. It seems like something that would be really good, but also like if that's the case, why aren't the developers
yeah,
people people working on that aspect of it also being given residuals. It's a harder conversation to have. It's not to say that voice actors shouldn't get them because devs don't have them yet, because that would hopefully push the conversation for them a little further. But voice actors also have a union, so they could potentially have more power to actually push that issue. All around, this just seems messy, and now even messier with the details that are coming out. Last week it was kind of easy to say that it sounded like Platinum was in the wrong here. But now it's kind of up in the air. So it's a rough situation. And then the other story, we talked a little bit about how not Batman, but Gotham Knights was going to only run at 30 frames per second on these new consoles. There's been some additional kind of discourse around that. Actually a technical artist at Rocksteady. So you were saying last week that I hope Suicide Squad doesn't end up this way. But a technical artist over there, Lee Devinold, apparently on Twitter posted, basically people were talking about it. Why is this happening? And he added that basically the Xbox Series S is going to hold back this entire generation, because Microsoft is demanding that if you release a game on the Series X, that you also have to release it on the Series S. And he went on to call the GPU of that system a potato. There's been further discourse around that. Jeff Gerstmann, formerly of Giant Bomb, was on Twitter basically saying, like, that doesn't really make sense. You guys are making these games for PCs, which work on a wide variety of hardware, including much lower end hardware than is currently in the Series S. To which another developer, one that worked on I Am Fish, the indie game, basically said that it's holding back developers, and there are a lot of developers out there trying to convince Microsoft to drop this requirement because it's causing them headaches. The reality of it is, it could eventually become a serious issue. The further into these console generations we get, it is a step down in graphic power and CPU power from a PS5 or an Xbox Series X. But I would hope what the transition there would be, kind of what I expected to be with the Xbox One, is Microsoft saying, okay, I don't need you to have this natively run on this console, but I do need you to make it available for cloud streaming then. And maybe that progresses their kind of future of cloud streaming. It doesn't necessarily have to be on Game Pass, maybe, because that's the conversation that we need to go to next.
That's what Switch be doing with some games.
Yeah, exactly.
I know. The games that you can't be playing on Switch, they can play through the cloud streaming. That's how they get Resident Evil 8.
Exactly. So and that needs to further that conversation, right? Because we don't really have that yet on the Xbox. It's really only the Game Pass stuff that's streaming. But maybe eventually you get to a point where you can purchase a game to only stream through your console, or I would hope, because it's Xbox and they've been a little more open about this, if I have a Series X, I can play it natively on there. If I have an Xbox One or I have an Xbox Series S, I can play it streaming on there. That kind of thing, ownership across the entire family of consoles, instead of just saying like, oh, I have the PS4 version or I have the PS5 version, which Sony is very much kind of fucked up on there, I feel like, by making it so complicated. It seems like this should be a non-issue. If developers are struggling that much with the power afforded to them by the Series S, then I think Microsoft needs to step in and help them out with whatever resources or development help they need. That's not to say make their game for them, but whatever they can do to improve tools, or guide them the same way like an Epic would back in the day when you're using Unreal Engine, right?
I
that
just
kind
can't.
of stuff.
I mean, like what Jeff Gerstmann said. So why? What is it about like that system where why can't it just be played worse?
Yeah, turn it down a little bit, make it not as good. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe it's just reductive of us to go like, why can't it, look less good? Maybe there's a lot of effort into making a version that looks less good, and that's why these developers are saying that. But I don't know.
How does that work? Why does it work? Doesn't work up there, but works on PC.
Right. And it feels like even more so on something like the Xbox Series S. There have been so many of those sold that it would be worthwhile to you to put a little extra effort into making a game that runs well there, right? Like, you're going to get it back in sales. So, I don't know. It's another one of those complicated issues, but it seems odd that, all these developers.
Yes. Well, another thing for the console wars, though.
100%. This is definitely a thing.
Because you know what? I didn't know that was a true statement. I just saw what I was looking at. I forgot what tweet I was looking at, but somebody said, man, the S is holding it back. And like for some other game. And I just saw people saying that. So now I know why they were saying that. I said, so some developer came out and said that. I said, damn, that's that sucks. And I'm like, darn, what? But should it? Like, it shouldn't hold them back. Like, this is not good. Like, if it's holding them back.
Yeah.
And why? And because of the power? I was like, no. I always thought that, though. I thought with the S, like early on, things will look the same because nobody's getting the full potential out the systems anyway. But I thought eventually stuff wasn't going to look as good on the S as the Series X.
And that just makes sense because it's not as powerful, but it's also not, just trash.
Yeah, and it's not
the same
not
processor, just clocked down.
Yeah, it's not like a whole new system. It's not like you're going from a Xbox to a Xbox 360 or, Xbox 360 to Xbox One or like PS3 to PS4. It's not like a whole new system and architecture. So you have to really do a lot of work. So that's why I'm thinking like, that's a problem. Like, man, yeah, that sucks. Then, yeah, I mean, Microsoft needs to. You have to feel like Microsoft, like since it's out there too, since that guy put it out there, like they need to do something because like people gonna be like, wait a minute,
this need to address it in some way.
Yeah, or if you're Sony's people, you should be mad at Sony. Say you need to demand that that's bullshit. You better freaking boy, then you better, if you feel like you're being held back, you need to make exclusives to us. It's something like that. You need to power us. Maybe put all his money on this damn system. How this guy's gonna hold us back?
Yeah, it's funny though because like we were talking before we started recording, like one of the allegedly like best looking games coming out very soon is God of War Ragnarok, and that still has a PS4 version. So from the company that originally said they were only focused on next gen games, now releasing one of their top titles on a PS4 still, like that game's got to run well. Like I don't think they'd be stupid enough to put out God of War running like absolute trash on the PS4.
Like Cyberpunk when it first came out, and maybe still is. I have no idea, but like when it, I can't imagine. I mean, that just tells me that it can work then. That it can work, like it should even work even better with the Xbox S and Series X to do that.
Exactly, because it's a step up from even the PS4 Pro. Yeah,
so it's either that Sony can put the money into it because it's their own thing, and they're just putting money into it.
Absolutely, some level of that, right?
And that's what it is. And then like WB said, nah, we're not going to put too much more money into this. We're just going to what's the best you can do out of this system. And that's what it's going to be for the next gen.
Yeah. And that's not to say that, none of this is coming from Warner Brothers as the excuse for why that game is running the way it does. Their kind of company line is that because of the environments that they built and the, you know, seamless multiplayer co-op that they have in the game, you know, that's the best they could do. They're not the ones out there calling them potatoes.
Yeah, they're not saying it. Yeah, they're not. Yeah, I know. But it just tells me that also, like, the developer, it's like, you could be telling the truth, but also I've seen other games do it.
Yeah.
So
right. Were you guys just not given the money to do it?
Yeah. So just tell me you're not giving the money to do it, man. Because other games have done it. Like, just say that. Like, I mean, you can go ahead and say it's potato. I mean, that's just, you know.
Yeah.
That's just internet talk. That's just something just to you pissed off and
flame
shit.
Wars.
Yeah, that's really what that is. Like a fucking potato. I was like, man, if that's a potato, then my computer, I don't know what I got.
You got a turnip.
Yeah, I got something. What's worse than a potato? Because that's what I got. Talking about fucking potato. Jesus.
All right, Dominic. Speaking of the opposite of potatoes here, we got PlayStation 5, their DualSense Edge controller that was revealed at the Keighley Summer Game stuff, I believe, the Gamescom thing, opening night. That has been announced for a release on January 26th at $200. That, I believe, is like $30 to $50 more than the Elite controller for the Xbox.
Sorry,
that's it.
Go ahead. That was joking.
Okay.
I don't know. I don't know. Maybe for some people that's. I mean, is it worth it?
For some people, it may be. I mean, I remember when we were playing Call of Duty, like, more seriously, and you would see people buying scuff controllers.
Oh yeah,
for like this, you know, for like $200, $250, you know, because they've got like rapid fire buttons and stuff like that. They had the paddles on the back and whatnot. So clearly, it's a price that they think they can get away with. I mean, I'm sure Sony would also make some excuse about, you know, it's $200 and not the same as Xbox because of inflation, and they just don't want to raise their price, even though they should. Now, the thing about the Edge controller over like an Elite controller is their actual entire stick module is replaceable. And you're going to be able to buy replacements for $20. So if you ended up having stick drift, which you would hope on a $200 controller, you wouldn't have to worry about. But if you do, you can replace that stick without opening the entire thing up for $20, which is a novel concept. I wonder if they also make like different customizable sticks, like something that's a little looser or tighter or what have you. I think that's why Xboxes are kind of interesting, because my understanding is they have like a tensioner in them, so you can actually like loosen and tighten them as you see fit. Yeah, I don't know. $200 for a controller for me. I don't think I play games seriously enough anymore to warrant that, or even the 170 or 80 or however much it is of full retail for the Xbox Elite controller. That's just the reality of my life at this point, I think, unless you can offer some extra level of ergonomics that the regular controllers do not provide, then I don't think this is going to be worth it to me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm never into that stuff anyway, so yeah, I haven't really much opinion on it.
Yeah. Gotcha.
And yeah, it's really nothing. Yeah, the controllers, you know, I just want a controller that works and feels good. That's it. That's yeah. I don't play games that seriously either.
I just want fans in them. Take it back to those third-party ones that used to have those.
Oh, like to cool your hands?
Yep.
Yeah, because your sweaty hands. Yeah.
Yep. All right, Dominic, a new Mortal Kombat game was announced. This is exciting. Mortal Kombat Onslaught. And then we find out that it's a mobile team-based collection RPG.
Yeah, man, that was bullshit.
So, as I talked about with Marvel Snap, I don't think I have any interest in this game. Plus, they announced this game without like any footage of it whatsoever. I thought there would be a trailer or something.
I'm just saying, okay, fine, make it a mobile game, but still just put it on Steam. I mean, I know some of these games do end up, but why can't you just do it the same? Yeah, like same day it comes out, same launch time. Hey, it's only here too.
Blizzard would say, Dominic, what do you guys not have phones?
Yeah.
No,
I do not, Blizzard. I still lose a roller dial on the phone.
There you go. I still dial to the operator to
rodeo phone.
Get my call passed there.
Yep.
All right, Dominic. There was also a new trailer for Final Fantasy 16 that just kind of came out of nowhere. That's coming out summer 2023.
I did not see this trailer.
Did you see that?
No.
It shows off like there's different factions, I guess. There's like warring towns, almost Game of Thrones-esque. And it shows some combat. You know, we've seen it in the past.
Seeing chocobos?
You know what? I don't recall seeing any, but I feel like there's got to be. I will say though, like the combat stuff, it looks like they're, you know, leaning heavily into the like people transforming into summons or whatever. But overall, that game just looks so bland. Like they need to come up with something art style wise for that game, because it is very much fallen into, hey, this is what Japanese RPGs look like, and they're not doing much to kind of get out of that right now.
Yeah, it's still that realistic
13 to me.
Yeah, like that realistic kind of look, but not very,
but like smooth, like a mix of anime meets realistic. It's like that, where it's just like, it just looks bland and flat. I don't know. You need something to spice it up a little bit. But the trailer looks, you know, like a modern Final Fantasy game. I think they're using combat, you know, more real-time action stuff similar to what they've done in the past couple of games. So, yeah, that'll be out next year. Next up, Dominic, kind of the big two things. There were two events this week. First up was the Silent Hill transmission, but that had a little more news out of it. So I'm going to go to the Resident Evil showcase that Capcom kind of announced to counter-program the Silent Hill announcements, it feels like, where they showed off the Rose expansion, the Winters expansion, where you play as Rose, the daughter of Ethan Winters from the 7 and 8 Resident Evils. In this, she's grown up.
And it's third person, right?
Yes, it's third person. She's in like early 20s, I want to say. And she's got some like superpowers in this thing. Like she's shooting out light waves at zombie things and then shooting them as well. That's coming out very soon. That's coming out on the 28th of October. So next week that'll be out. They also announced the cloud versions of the Resident Evil games. Those are coming to the Switch. I don't remember if they were all coming out at the same time, but they announced release dates for them. They also announced that the Winters expansion for the Switch is coming out December 2nd. They showed off some more Reverse. Sounds like they're still committed to making that thing happen. So if you own Resident Evil 8, I think there is a beta that's going to be starting soon. And it actually kind of looks a little bit better. It seemed like maybe they dropped some of the cell shading aspect of that kind of looked funky in those early trailers. Gameplay still seems maybe a little questionable. But
wasn't there something being done to Resident Evil 8 where you could play as a third person also?
Yes, that is part of the Winters expansion, I believe. Okay. There's also a Resident Evil 8 Gold Edition coming out, I believe on the 28th as well. That's going to be that plus the Winters expansion. So they showed off a little bit of that to the third person. There's a demo out of or it was a timed thing actually, and I think by the time even we're recording this, that stuff's over. One of the funny things that they showed off in that was, because like Ethan is relatively mysterious, when you try and point the camera at his face, he looks away from it. Oh. So you can never get a clear shot of what his face looks like. And that's just like a silly detail that I respect them for committing to. It's like a silly bit. And then kind of the showstopper for them was Resident Evil 4 Remake. They had a new trailer for that, which shows off a lot. I mean, at this point, most people are familiar with that game, and they just kind of hit all the beats. They show the giant, they show the little man, they show the thing in the water, they show basically a lot of the big creatures in that game. But that game looks good, Dominic. I don't know if I'm looking forward to it. I mean, I did just play Resident Evil 4 not that long ago on the Switch. And I know kind of what we're getting into as far as like having played some of Resident Evil 2 and a very tiny bit of Resident Evil 3 remakes. So like, I get it. At the same time, I very much feel like, yeah, that game was still really good. I don't know if we needed this, but I'm here for it still, I guess. Like, part of me is would rather try out Resident Evil 4 VR than this remake, but that's neither here nor there, I guess.
All right.
Yeah. All right. So the kind of showstopper of the week, Dominic, Silent Hill, the transmission, as they called it. They had a lot of, Konami announced a lot of Silent Hill related stuff here. First up, the big news. We talked about kind of leaks about it, but Silent Hill 2 remake from Bloober Team. There are people out there that are not happy about this, basically saying that Bloober Team is not a very good developer. Their handling of kind of mental illness and some of the themes that are common in Silent Hill games are very poor. They don't know how to write characters like that. I haven't ever played a Bloober Team game, honestly.
I mean, what have they done? I mean, they did other Silent Hill games?
The Layers of Fear guys, I believe.
Oh.
Let me see. Let me verify that. Yes, they are the Layers of Fear. They also did the Medium.
But they said they don't handle mental illness well, because it was in those games?
Yeah, so basically their handling of it in those previous games was poor. For me, like I think we've even talked about it leading up to some of these rumors that we had heard in the past. Like, oh yeah, Bloober Team makes those scary games. They would be fine to work on a Silent Hill game. But that's coming from someone that has neither played a Bloober Team game or a Silent Hill game, really.
Yeah, so, exactly. So it's still fine.
It's hard for me to say anything about this. Yeah. There is also another Silent Hill game in development. It is being published by Annapurna and is being worked on by No Code, who worked on Observation.
Okay.
It's called Silent Hill Townfall. They didn't have much outside of a kind of CG trailer for that, so we don't know if that's kind of the next mainline Silent Hill game. It doesn't seem like it is, because we'll talk about that later. They jumped to Return to Silent Hill. This is a new movie coming from the original director of the first movie, Christoph Gans. He is returning to work on that, and that is going to be a retelling of Silent Hill 2. Now, I remember liking the first movie. I did not realize that there has already been a second Silent Hill movie that is currently available for streaming on HBO Max, because I was looking to see if the original movie was available to stream anywhere. Mm-hmm. That does not look good. And the way they were talking about this, it definitely seemed like they weren't even acknowledging that movie really existed. So maybe they're just going to kind of move on from that. Also, another game, well, another possible experience announced, Silent Hill Ascension. Now, people are speculating this could be the short message thing that was rated by the, I think it was Korean ratings board. But basically it was showing like text messages, and there's since been some information that came out from IGN. Well, I stole it from IGN, but basically it was a known Silent Hill leaker on Twitter, Dusk Golem, spoke with the CEO of Genvid, which is the company working on this, along with J.J. Abrams' Bad Robot. And apparently Ascension is a narrative-based branching choice cloud streaming experiment. Konami is essentially going to stream only once a choose-your-own-adventure style Silent Hill mini-series where the stream's chat will collectively decide what happens, essentially letting the fan base create its own Silent Hill canon. Crucially, it will only ever be aired once, according to Novak, the CEO of Genvid.
Air
so
once?
That seems weird.
Like, air once on what?
It seems like it would be like a Twitch stream, basically, or maybe a YouTube live stream, but something like that. And I don't know if I want Twitch chat deciding collectively about anything in the form of a game story. I mean, I can't imagine they would be like turning this into canon. I think they're using the term canon as just saying like, hey, this story. But like, yeah, it's creative, I guess. Apparently Genvid has done something similar to this in the past with another property. I don't recall what it is off the top of my head. But I guess as like a weird one-off experience, that could be a cool thing if you get to participate in it. It just seems odd.
Yeah.
And then the kind of finale, last but not least thing, Silent Hill F. This seems like it may be where they're going as far as the next in the mainline Silent Hill games. This is going to be set in 1960s Japan, apparently. And you definitely just see some creepy Silent Hill-esque imagery in this trailer. It's a young woman dragging a pipe down the street before getting consumed by what appear to be like flowers, almost like a Last of Us style fungus flower looking stuff. And then her face just falls off. So it's weird. It's weird. I don't know, Dominic. Silent Hill, I think it's Silent Hill 3 that was kind of the biggest one, right? As far as like from me looking in from the outside.
I thought 4 The Room was pretty good.
I think people say 4 was all right. 3 for me was just like peak the series though, because it was like, oh, this is a PlayStation 2 exclusive and it looks incredible.
Oh yeah, definitely that one. That did look good. Yeah, that was a big deal.
Yeah. So I think people revere 2 as maybe the best in the series, but I'm not entirely sure. So like for me, Resident Evil is definitely like a bigger series, but it also like as I'm more familiarize myself with both of them, it seems like they're just completely different things. I mean, especially at this point, as Resident Evil has moved more into the kind of action camp, but it seems like Silent Hill is more of a psychological horror.
Yeah, I mean,
so it feels like there's room for both.
Yeah, I have no problem. Yeah, it needs to be. I would hate it was just one, to be honest with you, of anything really. So I want Silent Hill to come back and be something. Fucking watch my God. Oh my God, I ain't watched none of his shit this month. Dan Gaming, Halloween stuff. I used to watch. I haven't watched that for a while. I mean, I didn't really watch it, but I didn't really look at none of this year at his thing. But yeah,
there's still time, Dominic. Give that man a chance.
That's right. There's still time. But yeah, I want to see a new Silent Hill. I'm not gonna play it, but I want to watch Markiplier play it or something. And even though I haven't watched a game of Markiplier in years now.
Yeah.
But no, I mean just to have it in the game space. Like I want something more than just Resident Evil. I just want something more than Resident Evil out there.
Absolutely.
So yeah, have Silent Hill come back. It's definitely good for me. Just like we have Dead Space coming back. Yeah, like just having these horror games, seeing people like, and that I will never touch, but I appreciate it being there.
Yep. And hopefully for those fans, Bloober Team does not absolutely destroy Silent Hill too.
Yeah, I mean, I hope those fans like it. Yeah, I hope it doesn't. I mean, I wonder what is it like? I wonder if I have a problem with it.
Yeah,
I wonder if it's something like
I wonder if it's more subtle than something we would necessarily pick up, or if it's All right, Dominic, did you see any other news for the week?
Nah, I don't think so. I don't think I haven't been looking at really a lot of gaming news this week, honestly.
We didn't mention it last week that G4 is shut down, did we?
No, we definitely did not.
Yeah,
I remember somebody
G4,
got released. Yeah, I remember somebody got they got I don't know if they got fired or released or whatever. They got laid off. I remember some people were happy because they were social justice warrior, as they say.
I know there were some layoffs like during the summer, I think, from G4.
Yeah.
But yeah, the worst thing is like some people found out via Twitter because like Wario 64 had posted a thing basically saying they were shutting down because apparently a letter that was supposed to go out to employees at some point in the future
Wario 64
was leaked.
Nimble and another dude who does is pretty funny. Who the fuck are they? How do they get this information? Like, who are they?
They're mysterious Twitter leakers.
And then Nimble, he just posted something like for people to donate. I don't know, was it Patreon or one of those other things, something similar to that factor, like to donate for him getting information. I was like, oh, I said, I mean, I think I have no problem with him doing that. I mean, because he be putting on some shit out there, and he be getting some shit, like some information, and and I'm like looking him up, and I'm like, who the fuck are you? like who are you, and where are you? I think one time he said Japan, but I don't know. He could be fucking lying. He could be fucking lying.
I don't know. There is one guy that's like on that same level. I think it's like Dan something, but I think he's over there. But yeah, I don't think I know anything about any of these guys except I know Wario 64 posts deals and sometimes news, and Nibble posts all the news stuff. Yeah, like they're mysterious to me, Dominic.
Yeah. It's like this is what we can get. We can get Jason Schreier and people who are like unknowns that we can get actual news from. This is a bullshit.
Yeah. So that's unfortunate because I don't know. I mean, it is unfortunate, but I don't know who looked at G4 and thought that it was necessarily a good idea to revive that channel in the way that they did. Like, when you have people who are just in their bedrooms or an extra office in their house that stream for 8 to 10 hours a day and get millions of views, and you think you need a staff of like hundreds of people, I don't know if they were that big, but 20s and 30s of people, like obviously when you're talking about TV, like you do need to staff up more, but that's exactly why it wasn't going to work, right? Like also, like who's watching TV?
That's the thing.
It's so weird.
That was what I found weird. Was like TV, like this is on cable. This is not a Twitch channel or like something online,
But it was also like a mixed thing. Like sometimes they would be doing Twitch stuff, and then sometimes they would be, Yeah, so it was confusing to me to even like know where I'm following their content at. And then from there, yeah, it just seemed kind of like a bad idea to begin with, unfortunately.
Yeah, it sucks. 'Cause, I mean, I wouldn't mind having something like a G4 happening. I wish it was a space where that it could work, that it could work,
Yeah.
that it could be a channel. But still, like, it was like a conglomerate. Like, it had a channel, but it also has its own website where people go to and just watch this shit. And it could work out that way. But the space is just so different now. Like, the influencers are just killing it.
Mm-hmm.
And like, just with not even, I mean, like, people can get their information there, or they don't even care about really getting news. They just want to see people just doing, I mean, not that the G4 was just doing news. There was fun things, but they could get that fun stuff now everywhere. Like, everybody's doing that. Everybody's playing games, doing jokes, doing some type of crazy shit. Like, not even just playing games. People just being bathtubs and shit. I don't know what the fuck. But yeah, man, it's crazy. That like it's different. Like, the whole entertainment space is just different. Like, period now.
Mm-hmm.
Like, with people just using YouTube, or people got their OnlyFans and things of that nature. Like, yeah, man, it's just the content like that. Like, I remember, like, somebody said, I mean, like, people say, man, I don't need comedians no more. You can just go online on Twitter or something, or Facebook, and just see funny shit. Like, just see people just doing funny shit. Yeah, something like that. Like, doing jokes. And though I still like comedians, but yeah. I could, if I want to see something funny.
There's still definitely a difference between professional comedians and a thing that makes me laugh on the internet.
Yeah. It's like, yeah, but I do like that. I can go on the internet though and just see things and just laugh, and stuff like that. It's I mean, this stuff is, it's just a new thing right now. It's new. I mean, the only thing I could think of help for games is that I don't know. I mean, honestly, I think it is what it is now. Just someone new. Like, it's going to be somebody doing something on Twitch or one of these websites, like, doing a show where they talk about news and do things, but it's not going to be where you can have a whole channel like that. Like, that's not going to work out. I mean, at
the time that they were their biggest, that was one of the only ways that you could see video games in motion outside of like a postcard.
Game trailers was like the next thing. It was the only thing, like, that was just online. But like, if you weren't online, and if maybe your internet sucked and those videos took too long to load up on game trailers, you had G4 was like, that was like a godsend. It was like, oh, cool, I can watch this. I used to be jealous because I didn't have cable, but it was like G4 channel. So, oh man, I want the G4 channel, or at least Tech TV, or one of them. I was like, darn, I couldn't get nothing like that. All right, so that's it.
All right, so we're getting to new releases here, Dominic. As you mentioned earlier, Plague Tale Requiem is now out, the sequel to the one you played. That is out now on PC, Nintendo Switch, I believe is a cloud game, and PS5 and series consoles. So yeah, that I believe is reviewing fairly well.
Yeah. People, I think people were joking. They were joking that was being locked. The Series S is holding it back.
Yeah, people are funny. The Switch is holding it back with its cloud streaming. Yeah, it's got an 82 on Metacritic right now. We also have Ghostbusters Spirits Unleashed for the PC, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Series consoles. That is the asymmetrical Dead by Daylight style Ghostbusters game that is getting rated in around the 70s right now. So it sounds like that could be all right.
Oh yeah, I did see that. I still want to try that. I want to try that game.
Seems cool. We got Them's Fighting Herds, Dominic. I believe this has been out for the PC for quite a while now, but this is now out on the Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Series consoles. That is the fighting game based on what look like My Little Pony characters, but are not officially licensed My Little Pony characters. So,
what is it called again?
Them's Fighting Herds. Almost like
there's fighting words,
but
yeah.
herds. Yeah. There's also a llama in that game, I believe. It seems like a cool kind of indie 2D fighter, but maybe a little too brony-ish to, question my masculinity, Dominic, if I'm playing it. I don't know.
I don't. Well, if you like fucking Animal Crossing and shit, man, you all right.
All right.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at this. Yeah, this looks crazy. I think I want to try this. Yeah. Is it? Just,
the art style is very good for that game.
Yeah,
it's very well done. So, all right, we have Uncharted: The Legacy
the
of
bronies
Thieves
probably
collection.
don't like it, Dad. Dan. Yeah, they probably don't like it because it's violent.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah, bronies don't like violence. They be talking. Because when I was doing research on those things, on the bronies, they all about
research. Huh?
They all about the because I thought it was very freaking weird. They were promoting the show. Really, they're saying like they like the show because of friendship and all that shit. So I was like, oh. Yeah, so they probably won't like it. They probably say this is an insult to the My Little Pony franchise.
Yeah. All right. We also have the Uncharted Legacy of Thieves collection that is Uncharted 4 and the expansion for that. So that is now out on PC. We also have.
So
Alan
are they
Wake
coming out with the original ones too?
I don't remember if they ever talked about coming out with the earlier ones. I don't think they have. So you're starting your story at the end, Dominic, if you're playing exclusively on the PC, unfortunately. Seems like an odd choice, but also those games, especially like the first one, feels like it would probably need a little bit of refinement to play in the modern era. It feels like it's just kind of out of the range of acceptability, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Especially because it had so many like gimmick things with the controllers.
That's right. Yes, it did.
Throw your grenade by tilting your controller back and whatnot. Balance on this beam by holding.
Man, Sony. I mean, obviously, God, those stuff days, can just be
like
Sony. I want to know, when did they put that like that 6-axis stuff? Like, I just want to know, like, when in development they did the 6-axis. Like,
that was number one. That was the first time they saw a Wii. They were like, we need that too. We can't afford this and Rumble. Okay, throw Rumble away. Nobody uses Rumble. That's
wow, James Brown on the who does the football like announcing stuff. Like he's older now, and obviously he's using some type of dye for his hair. But it's just that his hairline, like, it is like mid head now. But he's still shaping it up. like it's so it looks weird. I was like, man, just cut it, man. It's just like it's like, come on, man. You actually look pretty all right on being balls.
That's funny. All right. Next
Anything
up,
else?
we have Alan Wake Remastered for the Nintendo Switch. So if you're looking to play Alan Wake, you can play that on the Switch now. We also have Jackbox Party Pack number 9. That's out on the PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One.
Did he miss it? Yeah, he missed it. Yes. Thank you, Washington.
Xbox Series and Luna. Who is it that missed it, Dominic? Is it the Washington team?
Yeah, the Washington. Yeah, they missed a field goal to at least get it 13-14. They're down by 4, but they're still down by 4. Good.
I don't want y'all getting closer. Just cheering against them.
Because freaking Green Bay is trying to fucking lose. Like, they are just fucking up, man. And I'm like, come on. Y'all
NFL
bastards.
told them to keep it close, Dominic. You got to keep the game interesting. All right. We also have Persona 5 Royale. That's now out on PC, Nintendo Switch, PS5, Xbox One, Xbox Series, and of course is part of Game Pass. So if you're looking to play Persona, check that out.
Yeah,
we also have Mario and Rabbids Sparks of Hope now out on the Nintendo Switch.
I see the commercial for that.
Which is scoring pretty well. It's a game I would like to play at some point, but not needing to do it right now.
Cross-dressing rabbits.
Yes. That's why I can't play it now. I got to wait for them to patch that out first. We also have Gotham Knights, as we talked about earlier.
Damn,
PC,
the Bucks haven't
PS5,
scored yet.
Xbox Series.
Jesus, and they play against the worst team in the league. Oh, please let Carolina win before we can jump over them. God. Nah, the Bucks are gonna win. They're gonna win. They ain't gonna let this happen.
No. And then we have New Tales from the Borderlands, Dominic, now out on the PC, Nintendo Switch, PS4, PS5, Xbox One, and Xbox Series consoles. It sounds like that game's got a rough road to hoe, because I've seen some very low scores for that game.
Man, it's so weird. I mean, first it's weird, like, it's not even Telltale. I mean, I guess they want to continue the story, but I was like, man, y'all, you fucked the characters over when y'all did 3, man. Y'all just fucked everything up. And I guess these are all new guys. I don't know. I mean, one day I might want to try just to see if I like it myself, but nah, I mean, it's just not.
Yeah, I mean, for as low as scores as I've seen, it's still got a 71 on Metacritic right now, so that's surprising.
I mean, it's real because here's the thing: it's like this came out of fucking nowhere, literally.
It really, I was surprised that it that it had actually come out. I was like,
it came out of fucking nowhere. And then it just comes out. Like, I'm thinking when we saw it announced, it was like, oh, I guess it's gonna be coming out next year or year before, year after next or something. And like this year, I was like, yeah, right. I mean, and it came
Randy
out.
Pitchford doesn't let things leak down. Runs a tight ship over there, unless it's his barely legal pornography that he's leaving on thumb drives.
Brady can't do shit. This is amazing. Go to your family, you son of a bitch. Be with your family. Damn. Like, he is just running. I never see him run like, oh my God. I mean, it's been like since early Ravens days. Man. This is amazing. Man should have been.
That you're talking about?
Huh?
Who is it that you're talking about?
Brady?
Oh, okay. I thought that's who you were talking to.
I said Brady.
Okay.
I said Brady.
Did you? Okay.
I said Brady. I said Brady. I said Brady. I said Brady can't do anything.
Okay.
Against them. I was betting against the Panthers, the worst team in the NFL. And his
family doesn't love him anymore, Dominic. He's got to go to where everyone loves him.
He should have went back to football.
Field.
They want him home. They said they want him home, Daddy. He said, no, fuck them kids. He went to play some football, and now he sucks because he forgot to take the drugs.
Somebody will remind
Grandpa, because he left him. He forgot him.
Oh no! You gotta get him one of those little pill things.
Yeah.
All right then, Dominic. Those were our new releases. Was there anything else you had for the people this week?
Nah. I think I'm good, man.
All right. Thank you guys as always for listening. You can check us out on Twitter. Dominic is at DStalworth5. I'm at Regulus MB. The podcast is at SUPAPod, SUPAPOD. SUPAPod.com is the website. You can check us out there. It has all of our previous podcasts, as well as links to all the places you can find us, including YouTube, where there's a video version of this podcast, as well as iTunes, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and all the other places that you may listen to an audio podcast. And until next time, guys, talk to you later.
All right, see ya.